all. I was like, I'm like, maybe they should have made this part of the OG, like OG X-Men. That would have kept it going.
Right?
Got it. Right.
Hold on. Oh, there we go. Sorry. I was like, why do I hear you and you're not moving your mouth? Oh, my YouTube immediately had like the volume up.
Ooh,
I was like, oh.
oh
Okay.
no.
Yeah. But all good. Welcome back, everybody, to the Toddcast. All right. Let me get this split screen going on here so I can look at the chat. There it is. Looking at the chat.
We are back to our regularly scheduled,
semi-regularly scheduled Wednesdays.
Yeah, Wednesday.
So you're gonna get us this week. You're gonna get us next week. You might not get us the week after that. Unless we can find a place to do this in New York, which would be very interesting, and I don't think it's gonna happen. So sorry guys. You're gonna have to go a week without us. But it's okay.
I was gonna say we would probably be the only YouTuber not at New York Comic Con doing a show, I am sure.
Yeah, I mean, but the problem is like our show's on Wednesday, so it's like, hey, we went to Load In. Like, come on. Like, Load In was awesome, guys. You should totally load it at New York Comic Con. It's great.
We're exhausted and hungry.
Joe, where's the fucking pizza, man? No. But yeah, I think we're just gonna have a better recap.
Yes, we'll
the following week.
A nice recap episode there.
I mean, we'll see. There's a small chance we could broadcast from there, but I don't know if I trust the hotel Wi-Fi though either.
Yeah, like I said, I think everybody and their brother are going to be on the Wi-Fi.
Yeah. That's why. So, but anyway, we get some stuff coming up. So this Saturday, if you guys are in Canton, Ohio, come visit us at Hall of Fame Con.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the little Civic Center there. Ron Mars is going to be there, so bring your Kyle Rayners, bring all your Kyle Rayners, bring your Witchblades, bring oh man, he did some other good stuff too. He did a good Batman and Robin book. It was pretty good a couple years ago. Anyway, there's that, and then the week after that is Waterfront's anniversary sale. So 10% off a bunch of stuff, half off dollar books. Go have some fun. It's gonna be good.
Yep.
Then at the end of the month, end of next month, October, on the 28th, the last Saturday, we're gonna have Ethan Sack. Hold on, let me make sure I say that his last name right. Ethan Sachs, who has worked on such amazing titles as Star Wars Bounty Hunters. He has worked on fuck, I can't remember. But he did 2 or 3 other Marvel books that were like reimaginings of people that were pretty good. But he has a new book coming out. Haunted Girl comes out at the end of the month, but he will be there from 11:30 to 2:30 at the Waterfront on October 28th, the last Saturday of October.
Waterfront getting all the love this.
Oh, and we have our last warehouse sale of the year. The what is that, 14th, 15th, 16th, something like that?
Yes, 14th, 15th.
Yeah, come out and check that out. 500,000 books, buck a piece, mostly sorted. And by that we mean like there'll be a chunk of like 20 that'll just be like Batman, but they're not in order. They're just all Batman.
Batman.
Right? There's the Spider-Man section, which I know you and I both love going through. There's an actual sorted
Shoot
section,
now.
right? There's an actual sorted section. And then
But
Todd
that's
always
not very big.
right. No, it's I mean, it's like probably 100 long boxes. That's pretty okay.
It's like one row compared to like everything else in the warehouse, though.
Yeah. I mean, it's like 15% of the warehouse. So like, yeah, only 15. And then as usual, Todd will probably have some kind of crazy awesome books out. The only difference this time is Justin and I won't be there because we'll be at New York. So
we will be on vacay.
Yes. So have fun, bother Todd. It'll be a good time. Bring cash if you can. It's a lot easier.
Cash and beer.
Yeah.
Cash and beer.
Yeah. Yeah. So but after that, it's pretty much just Black Friday. So it's gonna be a long Christmas season.
Yeah.
So
well, look, there's the Pittsburgh show too. Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah, that's in November.
Yes, that's before Thanksgiving, I believe.
Yeah.
So that's. But I think that'll be like the last local show for a little while there, other than everybody's favorite Steel City Con, and then.
Oh yeah, but we don't sit up at that. But it's
But it's obvious part of the local.
Yeah. Definitely, want to support others too. So cool. So hey, Ron's in the chat. Awesome. Hi, Thursday Warriors on Wednesday. Do you not know we're trying to change this to Wendigos? Come on.
Yeah.
He said my beard is out of control. It is not actually. It is very, very under control right now. Yes, Ron did Witchblade. Dollar books. Yes, go to the warehouse sale. It'll be a lot of fun. And Ron says Todd is awesome. We'll
he's awesome if you were not
no. Todd does treat us pretty good, so I can't say anything bad about him. I mean, do we fight? Yes, but it's like we're brothers, and that's why. So it's more that kind of a thing of, dude, you're a little older than me. You're out of touch already. That's usually the problem. As you guys can see when he comes on and he can barely work Zoom. Even though we all will live through a freaking pandemic and we all should have got used to it pretty well. Whatever. Hey, Marvin's in here too. Yay.
There we go. Welcome.
All right, so we have a ton of books. Well, not a ton, but we have a good amount of books
to
talk about.
If not going over last week because we had guests last week, it's
right.
I'm going to make the big shout out for those who were waiting for the books from last week. It's not going into it too much, but Wolverine versus Predator. This is exactly what you want out of Wolverine versus Predator. So, if you haven't picked up the copy yet, pick up a copy. It's pretty solid.
Cool. Actually, one of my books is from last week.
Yeah, I was going to do last week, but then I realized how many good books came out this week. And I'm like, oh, I guess I'm going to have to.
You're a terrible human being. Just not even sharing the love with last week. What the fuck? So, all right. I don't remember who I put first. So you get to go first.
Oh, okay. Well, this is the last book of Ultimate Invasion, number 4. We left off with Howard Stark meeting Reed Richards with the Iron Mask on, introduced to by the Maker, and they are trying to fix the time machine that apparently Howard of another dimension made, and this is like convoluted multiverse stuff that everybody, it kind of wish this was the movies, because at least people would be bitching less. But anyway, but Reed and Howard are working on it, and as they're working, Reed is kind of warming up to Howard, because I guess he was isolated by the maker for a long time. And he's like, I have secrets. And Howard's like, well, let's talk, and they get to talking as they're working on this. They come up with like a plan. And Howard able to get Reed, like gets him to they escape the clutches of the maker. He gets Reed to escape. Howard stays behind, and he unleashes like Kang's forces, which is like all these different Avengers from all different timelines. And then of course, the maker has his minions. It's just an all-out battle. That's the most of this book, is this battle. And as they're doing this, it's everybody's kind of beating on each other. Howard confronts Kang and the maker as they're battling each other, and he takes them all out. He has like this, he made the suit where it does a giant boom, and I don't know if it kills everybody or just stuns everybody. I'm assuming it puts a lot of them out of commission. He gets out of the suit, and what he did the design was he entrapped everybody in this giant dome. And apparently this dome is shut out from the ultimate dimension for 2 years. So you don't get to see what's going on for the next 2 years inside this bubble. Meanwhile, Reed finds Tony, gives him a letter, kind of a goodbye to my son type thing. Tony builds his own suit. And Reed even asks, he's like, are you going to take the mantle of Iron Man like your father? And he's like, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to call myself Iron Lad. So we get Ultimate Iron Lad.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
but Iron Lad, Iron Lad in the 616 was like his great grandson or something, not his son. But okay, I'll continue on. Go ahead.
But the book basically ends like all the heroes that were of the Ultimate Universe that did not get caught up in this, like the calm Gray Hulk, the Russian X-Men, Captain Britain / France, the Moon Knights, like they all are now trying to figure out how to run this world without the maker. So they're kind of doing the whole United Nations type thing going on. But it ends up Reed and Tony are on the search for the actual heroes from this universe. So and the book ends with them finding the Captain America encased in ice of this universe, and that's the way the book ends. And of course, this is going to lead to this Ultimate Universe book that's coming out later this year. I like this. This is typical Hickman, like his little mini series when he opens up a new universe is chef's kiss. It's exactly what you want in the story. I just wish he'd do it like on a longer term, like he did with The Walking Dead, where it did for several things. Marvel, he seems to kind of peter out like he did with X-Men. I feel like X-Men could have continued being really good if he would have just stuck with it. We never did find out why him and Marvel disagreed on X-Men stuff, but I'm definitely giving this a solid like,
Wait. You mean when Hickman left the
yeah,
X-Men stuff? Oh,
yeah.
he left to do Substack.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Like he left, like that was him choosing to leave early. That wasn't Marvel being
Yeah.
like, get off the book. So
Well, I just kind of wondered what the like legally point of that, because once you sign a contract, especially with someone as powerful as Marvel, even though you're Hickman, yeah, I'm sure your lawyer, your one or two lawyers, compared to all of them, like you have the whole Disney backing there. I think they could have made him finish, but I'm
yeah,
glad like they kind of made
all
up, I
good.
guess. I don't know. But I definitely give this a solid like 2 eggs sprinkled with some cheese sprinkled on this. Uh, 3 strips of perfectly done bacon and some hash browns. This is solid overall book. A good way to end this is easy 4 book miniseries. Uh, awesome intro to this new Ultimate Universe,
Cool.
and it kind of has me interested because this is like the first like
Hold on. Is that a multiple man or is that Captain America? I can't
that's just
tell.
Captain America. It's just
Oh,
different
never
version of
mind.
Captain America. Yeah.
Dumb. Okay.
Are you talking about the one up here, like
Like
with the
in the back.
goggles?
Yeah.
Oh, that's Giant Man.
Oh,
Yeah, that's Giant Man.
interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Again,
Cool.
these are different timeline
I was
heroes
like,
that Kang brought in,
yeah,
you know.
dumb.
So
Eh, I'll probably read it just to know what the hell's going on, but
yeah, it's
don't
pretty interesting.
not gonna
I
love it.
enjoyed it. Yeah.
All right. Oh, my first book, and all mine are DC number ones. Just so you guys know, like from last week and this week. This was probably my favorite of the three that I read. And this is Power Girl 1. So, Power Girl's getting an award on a yacht. Omen is hanging out with her, like they're like best friends, and because she called her Princess Peach for a long time, Power Girl took the name Paige because it sounds like Peach, like Peej, which is PG. Started out as PG, then it went to Peach, then it became Princess Peach. So it's Paige. So the whole thing is about how they're supposed to be bringing in Atlantean science to help them do stuff, but then you find out like the Atlantean guy is actually a bad guy and he tries to kill everybody. So she busts out, she gets out of her dress and like literally burns it with her eyes, like to destroy the dress. And then the guy's like, "Oh, you're a Kryptonian." She's like, "You're not supposed to have things that hurt me." And he's like, "Oh no, I have an arsenal designed to destroy everything." So it's an interesting, like, big battle. Obviously she ends up kicking everybody's butt. There's a point where Omen is like, "Did you remember to feed Streaky?" And she's like, "No." And they're like, "You know how he gets." And you just see this, it's just a still of him sitting beside an empty dish, and he's like super mad. It's great.
Oh God.
So they go home and Superman's in their apartment, and he's like, "I'd like a word with you, Power Girl." And then they fly up into the sky and they talk about how she was not great in handling the situation from the party. And then she tells her that there is a flu going around that is Kryptonian by nature, but it's affecting humans. And she's like, "Well, what's impossible? My my Krypton doesn't exist. So why are you telling me that?" And he's like, "It's emanating from your Krypton." She's like, "No way, that can't happen." So they're, in the next issue, they're apparently going to be trying to find Krypton or trying to find um something about like where that flu's coming from, things like that. Hopefully this will open up a whole nother Earth just for funsies. But I really liked it. I thought it was good. I had a lot of fun with it. I'm giving it 3 eggs scrambled with pepper jack cheese, home fries, and a cup of coffee. So
Nice.
it's very good. I really enjoyed it. So whoops. Dude, come on. Wait. Oh. Shit. That was the bottom. All right, hold on. Let me go back up. There you go. You can go to your next one. My bad.
Is this the right one? That 3 or
That's
this doesn't seem
3.
like this. Is it?
Batman Beyond Neo Year 3. Yes.
No, not Neo Year. It's Neo Gothic.
Oh,
This was that was last. That was the last one.
Oh, my bad. All right.
Yeah,
well,
that was it was still a good series, but
okay. Well, then I'll stop sharing while you
Okay.
talk about your Batman Beyond.
Okay, this is Batman Beyond Neo Gothic number 3.
My bad.
We left off where Terry and his cat boy guide Kyle.
It sounds so bad.
It does, but I think that's kind of the whole purpose of the whole thing.
Harry and his cat boy.
His cat boy, or he referred to himself as Magic Cat Boy.
I know. I'm just saying, it's just
Yeah.
ridiculous. Cat boy.
So they opened the vault into the original Court of Owls. And as they're searching, they small talk and shit, and they run into the zombified it's like zombified, like a combination of zombies with poison ivy plant monsters of the court, and Talon dressed up in Batman's outfit. And they're sitting there going, we want Kyle back. He needs to bring more children to feed the garden. The garden needs fed. It's, very, one hive mind, this, that, and the other. As they're fighting, this obviously, Terry's fighting hard, and Kyle puts up a force field with his magic because, he's Magic Boy. And then you find out that he was trained by John Constantine. And Terry's like, well, Bruce told me he died years ago. And he's like, no, he's not dead. Apparently he keeps like collecting curses and extending his life through curses and deals with demons and stuff. So he's still around. But I guess he trained Kyle, but then betrayed him. So he doesn't go into how the betrayal is, but it's kind of an interesting little backstory of this Magic Cat Boy. So it's kind of cool,
It sounds so bad.
It does.
Sorry.
It does. It's very, yeah, what are you gonna do?
We'll talk about it
later. So finally Terry throws batarangs with some bombs in it and implodes like the whole court like up. Pretty much like destroying most of the court except Talon, who's chasing them. They fall down a pit. So the last thing you see is them falling down a pit with the zombified Talon following them. And I have to say, like, the art of how grotesque the zombified Court of Owls and Talon are really good, because you're seeing like, mushrooms and shit growing all through the mask, and like you see like the side of one, you see like like broccoli coming out of his ear and stuff. It's like some really grotesque kind of stuff, like very Last of Us type, like zombies, where it's like a fungal thing.
I'm
I
really
really liked
hoping
it.
that it ends up being animal, mineral, vegetable man.
I don't think it's
That'd be
gonna be
awesome.
that. I doubt it's probably gonna be a poison ivy something, and Lord knows. But you really don't find out too much else because it was basically just battle, blow up, then fall.
Right.
And very simple, but you get a little bit of backstory. It was kind of cool to see Court of Owls and the neo-Gothic future of Batman Beyond. Um, I'll give this like a solid 2 egg, no cheese, scrambled
Ooh,
egg.
okay.
I'll give it some couple pieces of toast. Nothing extravagant, to the point, but it moves the story along. I mean, it's only issue 3, so
Fair.
we'll see where it goes from there. But I liked the fact we get little tidbits of people, like where some of the heroes of the past have gone. That was kind
Right.
of cool. So
Cool. Right. Go back to this share screen thing. Wonder Woman 1.
mm.
So, as you guys know, I have like a love-hate relationship with Tom King. I
Should have brought that up to him in Baltimore.
I should have. Like, why do you do so well when you only have 12 issues to write something? But anything more than that, it's just garbage. This book isn't garbage. It's just really, really wordy. So I think it's some point in the future somewhere. And the Amazons have pretty much moved into the US. And one of them like some dudes like grabbing a girl or grabbing one of them at a pool hall, and she like completely kicks his ass and ends up killing a bunch of people. So the government basically is like, Amazons have to leave. So they bring in oh, what is his name? It's fuck. Anyway, oh, Sergeant Steel. That's it. He's got a steel hand that he can shoot guns stuffs with. It's interesting. He's also a CIA guy. Imagine that, Tom King writing this. What? CIA. So they show him go into a house, and like this girl and his wife and her wife are both Amazons, and they're like, we're waiting to see what goes on because of our daughter. And he's like, yeah, we know that, but we don't care. We're gonna take you. Your adopted daughter is gonna go into foster care. And they're like, what? So the one wife comes out like running out of the back, in full like Wonder Woman like armor, and they just mow her down with these like specialized bullets that will actually go through their armor. Like, and I mean, they just show her bloody on the ground. It's crazy. I've never seen that in a DC book. This is the most violent thing I've ever seen there. They talk to Nubia, and then Steel goes to a cemetery and actually meets with Diana, and they have a bit of a fight with some dudes. They try to kill her. She kicks everybody's ass, of course. And is just trying to get she's trying to find that girl that beat up everybody in the hallway or in the pool hall. And yeah, it's just crazy like where this is going, like, because I don't quite know what the end game Tom King has planned. But the Sovereign is in this, who is basically like a really grumpy king guy, and he's going to be the main bad guy behind all this stuff. So anyway, I give this, I don't know, like 2 pieces of French toast, no sugar, no fruit, just syrup and French toast, as plain as you can get it, and
Rough.
coffee with milk and sugar in it. That's
a lot of carbs.
Yeah. That's kind of how I feel about this book. It's a lot of carbs. No, it's real weird. I just can't quite figure out where the hell it's going. And that's the part that I don't like, but it's very
It's only
Tom King.
issue 1. So
I
it's
know.
like,
I know,
like
but
trying to figure
it's
everything
like,
out after one
well,
issue.
no, but it's also like when did that like when did the Amazons come in? Where does this sit? Like Steve Trevor's alive. What the fuck? Like so it's very what is going on
the whole
here?
Dawn of DC is just a giant reboot again, right?
No, it sort of. It's like a kind of like upgrading the plane type thing, right? Like they're just like, or upgrading the car, right? They're just taking out the motor, putting a new one in, getting new tires on it. The frame's still the same, the body's the same, but all the insides are changed. So it's like streamlining it back to where it should be a little better. And for the most part, most of the Dawn of the DC stuff I've read is pretty good. I have another one. Oh, excuse me, another one to go here in a few minutes, but I will let you talk about that book.
There you go. Immortal Thor #2. Now we pick up with him battling this. Well, it left off with him battling this old, like dark version of Thor, basically, of himself. But the issue starts off with, you see where Odin loses his eye. He sacrifices his own eye for wisdom, and he gives it to my pronunciation is going to obliterate this.
Do it.
Yggdrasil, the tree.
Yggdrasil.
Close enough. Yggdrasil. Close enough.
You were close. Yeah.
He
Good
gave
job.
his eye to the tree, and the tree in turn gave him wisdom.
Mhm.
And it's the whole thing of, with power comes sacrifice, is the moral of that very beginning. Well, here is Thor fighting. Now he calls himself Tauros, instead of, like, the first issue he called himself like Dark Thor. So I don't know, like, if there was miscommunication between issue 1 to issue 2 or whatnot. But they fight back and forth, and obviously this older, darker god is more powerful than Thor, even with the all power in him, in addition to his regular power. But Thor finally gets the upper hand. He literally he rips open like this other dimension with Mjolnir. He just automatically rips it a new dimension and pushes the dark god into the dimension. But as he does this, Thor is super fatigued, and he does a lot of inner monologuing through the rest of the book. Is with the all power, he also has to do the all sleep to recharge himself, and he used a lot of that power just to fight this dark god. So he's trying to resist doing the sleep. While he's resisting, he's using the all power to fix all the damage that him and this god did to New York, which only makes him even more exhausted. And then he finally kind of finds a soulless air, like some solitude, and Loki comes and finds him, and Thor thinks that Sif sent him, and Loki's like, no, I figured something like this was going to happen. And Loki asks, do you trust me? And Thor's like, what do you mean? I thought we already kind of dealt with all this stuff. And he's asking him, do you trust me as a brother? Do you trust me as citizen of, do you trust me even as an enemy? And he's like, yes, I do. Well, before Thor passes out from going to get into the all sleep, Loki's like, good. And he turns into Lady Loki. Like, I guess the true form is Lady Loki now. And that's the way this book ends. A little, like, I felt like they could have like made this fight like last like another issue, but the fact that it ended like it basically a book, because it was half of the book for half of one and half of two was just this battle. You could have made a book of just about the battle, but I give this like a give me a waffle with strawberries and whipped cream on it.
One
This is
waffle or
my
two, and a bit.
no,
A
it's just one of
Belgian
the giant,
waffle.
yeah, a
Belgian.
Belgian,
Okay.
giant Belgian waffle with strawberries and whipped cream. Because this seemed like this was a lot. You said wordy. There's a lot of words in this, like
Yeah.
way more than
I was
for
just flipping
Thor
through it and was like, "Holy shit!"
yeah, but it's the art is excellent. I like the way the battle ended. I like that the new issue is his weaknesses. Now he has to do all sleep when he uses.
Actually, it's
His,
it would be technically the Thor sleep at that point.
well, he refers to it in the book here as the all sleep.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting. Because it's the Odin sleep
Yes.
when it's Odin. It'd be the Thor sleep when it's Thor.
Yeah.
So,
But he refers to like his power as the all power, which makes sense. If it's a power passed down, I think
I
that
thought
was the whole point of it.
I thought I saw it in there called the Thor Force, which is even funnier.
It might be. I don't know. I didn't see Thor Force. I did see the all power and the all sleep.
It's all good.
I like this. I like
I
where
only
it's
flipped
going.
through it. You actually read it, so I'll default to you.
I like where it's going. I kind of wanted more.
Yeah.
But like I said, there's a lot of carbs. There's a lot of filler, especially for a expensive book. This is one of the more expensive books, and I'm like, for the price, you could have given me a little bit more. But I'm not. It's not the story's fault. It's not the artist's fault on that. That's a Marvel / Disney issue there. But yeah, I enjoyed this. I thought it was excellent. I was never a Thor fan, but between the last run and this run, I'm really enjoying like where Thor's going and expanding his character. So we'll see where it goes from here.
Cool. Sorry, my dog was being awkward. So, all right. My last book is Flash #1, Dawn of DC. Some sweet Diodato Jr. art. So this book, I will preface with two things. One, it's Wally West. So I'm already like meh. But two, it's really more of a catch you up and focus, like get you to understand Wally's universe, like his normal every day, right? So you find out that like Max Mercury and Impulse are training in the desert, and there's something going weird with the Speed Force. Wally is beating up a bunch of Gorilla Grodd's gorillas, and like there's something that Grodd's using that he eventually thinks like might be the thing that's messing with the Speed Force. But I mean, it's a lot of, like I said, like learning about Wally, and then you get to see like their house with their kids. And Linda is like, the only she's the non-meta in the house because all three of the kids have speed. And she at one point is sad because when she was pregnant with their newest kid, she actually was a speedster because of it, which I thought was kind of cool. So it's like Wally kind of has to like grow up a little bit as a dad, and then you find out he's working for Mr. Terrific, and they're trying to figure out what Gorilla Grodd was doing, and he lies to Mr. Terrific about the Speed Force weirdness, and yeah, that's pretty much. And the kids. There's like a scene where one of the kids gets in trouble in school. It didn't really fit, I didn't think. And then the gorillas attack again, and this Indigo Flash shows up and attacks Gorilla Grodd, and Gorilla Grodd has this device that basically puts people into a puck of frozen time, right? And Wally describes like hearing time, feeling time slow down, right, in this thing. But because this guy's a speedster that he puts in one of these things, it completely obliterates him, which was probably the coolest thing I've seen in a Flash book in a long time. I was not expecting that either. I was like, wow, that's like an eyeball rolling away from a body. That's pretty crazy. So yeah, it was good. Like, not a big Wally guy though. So for me, like, I'm gonna have to give this book like, let's do a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich on a muffin, because you can get it at fast food.
Okay.
That's a bad Flash joke. It's a Flash dad joke right there, Wally.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
So, but I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. It didn't really go anywhere because I already knew all that stuff. Like, if it would have had more about what Grodd's plan was, I'd be cool. But I was like, I get it. You have to do the number one and get people interested in the character, and be like, oh, by the way, this isn't Barry.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, it was okay. I just didn't love it. I'm probably gonna give it, I might give it one more issue, but because it's not Barry, I don't really care as much.
Okay. But that doesn't mean that like someone who is a Flash fan, like hardcore Flash fan, doesn't mean don't get it. We're all about this is just our opinions and our reading preferences.
Right. I mean, I've only ever shit on like 3 books in the 7 years I think I've been doing this. 10 years, almost 10 years, I think, actually.
Yeah, we have yet to like really like rag on a book hard since you and I have been doing it for the past year.
Well, I think I've been taking less chances on new number ones.
Yeah.
And like companies have just been putting out better product though too.
Yeah.
So there's very little that I'm just like, what the fuck was that? That's a garbage. So
I think we get more of that if Tim would come back and him and his super critiques.
I mean, like it's yeah. I mean, Tim hated on a couple books. But he also loved a lot of books. There was really no middle ground for him. It was either he loved it or hated it. There was no middle ground, but it's all good. Anyway, so I guess we can talk a little bit about Ahsoka now, because we're all caught up on Ahsoka, and we didn't for like 2 weeks. So we're gonna spoiler talk now. So if you haven't seen Ahsoka, go catch up. There's only one more episode, 2 more episodes.
Is it 8 or 9 episodes?
I think it's something weird. Hold on.
Yeah, it was an odd number.
You're an odd number. I mean, what? 8. It's 8 episodes.
8 episodes. Okay.
So one more.
One more.
Yeah. So next Wednesday will be the season finale. Okay. Possibly series finale, but we'll see.
I don't know. I like where this is going. Like it was super slow. Those first couple episodes were super slow. Seems like the last 3 have been like moving the story along, and you got to see a little bit more in depth. Saw
Agreed.
Good old Hayden Christensen.
I love the his role parts. I thought it was shit that people were like bitching about it. I was like, come on.
No, I have forgiven him for his bad acting in 1 through 3. He's clearly a better actor as he is aged.
Well, they also it isn't George Lucas directing and writing the movie.
Yes,
this
is obviously better writing. Like this. Well, what did we talk about the last time? Was it the one before Sabine got kidnapped?
Yes.
Okay. So, catching up here. Was it Ahsoka and
dude? No, all you have to say is space whales.
Yes.
Were fucking awesome.
Yes.
And can travel through time and space. They're like space whales are just living TARDISes in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
So you hop in your space whale and you fly to another part of the galaxy.
And again, you saw that I loved seeing the transition of Hayden Christensen from you saw her training through the past. And I thought that was kind of, as someone who likes a lot of backstory to fill in the gaps, this was kind of a good gap filler of things, because you never really got to see the training that she went through as a Padawan.
I don't know.
Not as much.
I didn't watch the cartoons, so I don't know.
You don't see a lot of that, because she is a Padawan, but she is an older Padawan. So this is this series so far has shown her as a child Padawan and what she learned, like the hard lessons of war and stuff like that. I was like, okay, this makes a lot more sense. This is a little gap filler that they probably should have explained from the very beginning, but I thought it was cool, that transition of him being from the Jedi hero that everybody respected and loved to the Vader. Dark side. That was cool.
The transitions were well done on that too. Yeah.
Like I said, space whales were awesome. We got to see Ezra. Threw me for a loop, because I swear I thought that for sure they were going to make him a bad guy.
I did too.
I thought they were going to make him like a Sith or some crap like that.
I thought Enoch was going to end up being him.
Yeah.
But no.
So it's cool. Thrawn looked cool. It was, you see the little bit of age there. He's not the young virile guy that you saw in Rebels, but he still has that brilliant mind and tactician, which I
just has a bit of a gut now, which I really appreciate. So
he had a little bit of gray in that hair coif of his. So cool.
Yeah.
You know,
I thought it was like I just like everything they're doing with the show, but it still feels very like video gamey to me. Like it's almost like a video game storyline.
yeah, yeah.
Um, and that's I think one of the reasons I like it, but um I don't I think it's because I don't know, because it feels like it needs to be in that eight episode thing. I think if this was longer than that, I don't think the story would have went as well or shorter. I think they picked the right amount of episodes, I should
Mhm.
say.
And
So
you can see this universe opening up.
yeah,
Like I was telling you earlier before we went on, is like my theory is they may end up getting Ezra, Ahsoka, and Sabrina may end up getting like abandoned, or well, left in the uh other galaxy, not be able to get back to the normal Star Wars galaxy that they're from.
right.
So you could make this a few seasons of them trying to get back, So I see it. I don't know if they'll do it, but I can see that being a possibility of that way to go. So,
Truth. Cool. Well, I still enjoy it. Also, guys, just Star Trek Lower Decks is amazing as well. And season 3 is crushing it. Oh, and lastly, I will throw this in there. Make sure you guys go check out Retro Gaming Pittsburgh this weekend. It's out in Monroeville. Our buddies from the Retro Gaming store in Monroeville are putting it on, and I will be there Sunday in Star Trek gear hanging out. So come and hang out with me. So cool. I think that's all I got. I don't really have anything else.
yeah, we had a lot, but there was, wasn't as
Right.
much. Well, good for, I should say, congratulations to the writers
Oh
in
yeah.
Hollywood. Awesome. Unions do work when they work proper. So awesome. Now the actors have to do it because the actors are still on strike, excuse
Yep.
me. And so are the auto workers. So
Yep. Go unions.
Yep.
So
Pro
all right,
unions,
cool.
pro people.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, have a great rest of your night. Make sure you go check out some new books this week. Pick them up at your local store. It doesn't have to be us, but it's much appreciated if it is. And that's pretty much it. We'll catch you next week.
Come see us this coming
Oh
weekend,
yeah.
dude. We'll be there.
Yep.
Hard not to miss this. This will be up. So
I don't know where we are in the room this year, but it's a different place than last time. But yeah,
not our usual spot.
I know, it's so easy to load in right there. So anyway, catch you guys next